Then he was pulled over on his way to a show, and when they found drugs in his car, well, yeah, he got told off by the police, he got told off by other people, and WWE decided, well, we can't have this human being at top of our...
Classic of a wrestler being in their own way.
Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
Yo, what up? It's Amaj back at another video. Today we're about to be reacting to a video by What Culture Wrestling. The video is going to be on 10 worst WWE Championship reigns of the 2000s. First on my list will probably be I don't know if this will probably strictly be like it's a world championship. It's a world heavyweight championship, and vice versa. I'll probably be going with the Reign of Terror, and this whole thing will probably go from 2000 to 2010 because obviously that's when the decade ended. But I'll probably go with that one, and then I'll probably go with Great Khali. Oh my gosh, dude won it in the battle royale, and that thing didn't even last that long. I low-key kind of forgot he was champion until I watched a few other videos, and I remembered. I was like, damn, that reign was horrible. Then I will go with Chris Jericho. Well, his reign was terrible. The win was great, but the reign was terrible because it kind of took a backseat to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon feuding for some reason, even though Stephanie's not a wrestler. I don't know why it took a backseat, because she was just lapdog in that whole story. But let's just get into the video and go check out the other WWE videos if you've been enjoying these, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
Culture Wrestling, this is the 10 worst WWE Championship reigns of the 2000s. Number 10, Edge, November to December 2008. So as you may remember, although it was a long time ago, Survivor Series 2008 was supposed to be Jeff Hardy's night. He was supposed to be in a triple threat main event for the WWE.
Oh, wait, so they're probably not, like, counting the heavyweight championship. I don't know, we'll see.
Title against Triple H and Vladimir Kozlov. I know what you're thinking, 2008 was a very weird time. Of course, before all this, Edge actually took out his former rival. I don't mean to dinner, I mean he beat up Jeff Hardy when Jeff Hardy accidentally assisted Edge, allowing him to become the champion. Once again, I just told you, 2008 was nuts. Now, the reason it goes in here has nothing to do with the Rated R superstar, who was always brilliant, but his flipping reign only lasted 21 days. That's because of Armageddon. We finally got to this triple threat between Jeff Hardy, Triple H, and Edge. The eventual winner was Jeff Hardy.
It literally kind of just like, it was a miracle for like, at his expense, low-key. I mean, although the reign was 21 days, at least he could say he was WWE champion. That's a champion. I mean, champion. But at the same time, it didn't last that long. But it brought a great moment for, Jeff winning the championship. Remember, that celebration was crazy back in 2008.
Thing was ridiculous. Now, the thought process behind this chain of events was to have Hardy win the title from a heel with whom he had significant history. So I can understand that, but believe you me, in 2008, Edge shouldn't have been a transitional champion. He was way bigger than that. And actually, WWE was lucky to have him. There was also the option as well, of course, for Edge to have a mammoth title run until WrestleMania and do Jeff Hardy versus Edge there. But we didn't do that, and also we're talking about 2009, and I'm recording this in 2026. So I ain't gonna get mad about it. I've moved on. Number 9, Triple H from May to June 2000. So because we were still in the Attitude Era, the WWE title changed hands 4 times in the first half of 2000. Damn. So don't you tell me that the WWE hot potatoes that thing today. That's what they were doing back then. Now actually it worked, because most of this was Triple H dropping it to The Rock and then The Rock dropping it to Triple H, and they did have a great feud. And having lost,
bro, they were just trading the championships back and forth and just padding their, their championship like reigns up.
Lost his title in mad fashion at Backlash. The game then sought to regain his prize at Judgment Day. This wasn't just any old match, though. It was an Iron Man match. And yes, it was when The Undertaker returned as Biker Taker. Believe you me, when you were a kid and you saw that, you were like, what happened to the flipping dead man? I guess he got better. Now, even though this was timed terribly and nobody knew what was going on, even though it was very exciting, what actually happened is that The Undertaker attacked Triple H, meaning there was a disqualification there, also meaning that Triple H was now your champion. The issue was, 35 days later, Trips did go lose the title back to the Great One under pretty weird circumstances. Because it was the main event of the King of the Ring and WWE was doing a 6-man tag, Triple H and Vince and Shane McMahon versus The Rock and the Brothers of Destruction. The rules dictated that Triple H didn't have to get pinned to lose the title, so of course, who did The Rock pin to become the champion? Vince McMahon. Now,
bro, these type of stipulations always ended up with, like, people actually, having the championships kind of just like their reigns like ran in the dirt, bro. I think it happened with Brian Kendrick back in 2008, bro. Brian Kendrick was like technically champion for I think a couple of minutes, basically, and then he lost it again because it was like basically like a hot potato. I think it was, yeah, it was basically like a hot potato match or something like that. I don't know what stipulation it came for. I guess whoever gets pinned becomes a championship and some sort of clock ran out. I don't remember that, but it was something like that. But that's how he became champion.
Triple H's reign lasted no time at all, but also two, that is not the way you change a belt. That is so ridiculous. And of course, Rock was the #1 babyface at the time, so every single thing he should have done should have just been wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But again, it was the Attitude Era. Somehow anything went. Number 8, John Cena and Randy Orton in late 2009. So when Randy Orton won his 4th WWE Championship in June 2009, it kick-started a story that WWE hoped would be legendary. And that's because between June and November, Orton faced John Cena in 5 different title matches.
God
the belt
damn.
changed hands at Breaking Point, Hell in a Cell and Bragging Rights, with none of these reigns lasting more than 90 days. Very sadly, I'm becoming a broken record now, but you can figure it out. Nobody actually had any time to be the champion. Now, I do understand what WWE was trying to do. They wanted to present Cena and Orton as generational rivals, and that actually made all the sense in the world. You have a star like Randy Orton, you have a star like John Cena. Why the flub wouldn't you try and make this happen?
Damn, this nigga is spitting in his face. Crucial, but but literally, like them trading the championships back and forth. Basically, I mean, I think Cena would have like kind of got that done without trading the championship back and forth with him. But like that basically made Randy. I'm not Randy. That basically made him and Randy have multiple reigns.
The problem, though,
What the hell?
one of the reasons it doesn't get talked about as much today is because this swapping actually devalued the title. So even when John Cena won it from Randy Orton, a lot of the fans were like, well, of course that was going to happen, because they also saw what happened last month. And some of the matches were pretty decent, let's not be unfair here. They're Iron Man and Last Man Standing bouts in particular, but it was also during a period where WWE was just a little bit stagnant, and actually what they wanted was somebody who held that belt for a long old time. So I'm going to say it again. You probably could have given it to, say, Randy Orton, and had John Cena beat him for that at WrestleMania, just to really knuckle down that this was meant to mean something. But it's still actually all fine, and if you do go back now, you will find good within it. Just actually think this could have been done in a more traditional way, and we don't often say that. Number
Yeah, honestly, that kind of is true because, transitional championships always kind of, like he says, devalue oh yeah, he's gonna win. Oh, he's gonna win this back. It's just like leaving fans expecting that it's just gonna keep being hot swapped. Not like what went on recently with like Sami Zayn and like Cody Rhodes and Gunther, because like they really didn't know he was gonna become champion, because it wasn't really often hot potato like that, and they're really having like decently long reigns, at least over 100 days, and they just transfer a championship like that, and it ends up being such a crazy moment.
7, John Cena from September 2006 to October 2007. So at Unforgiven 2006, John Cena defeated Edge to begin a WWE Championship reign that would last 380 days. That was pretty damn awesome, especially because for the first time since Randy Savage in the late 80s, a wrestler had been entrusted with the company's standard bearer for over a full year. Once again, that just goes to show you how mad the Attitude Era was. We better change these titles. It also showed you that WWE had huge plans.
Wait. So, whoa, he did tell us earlier that the championship was constantly hot potato back in the Attitude Era, but like no one ever been champion for over a year during that span of a time. That's fucking amazing. Just not have that anchor since like Macho Man time. What the fuck were they doing back then?
For John Cena, as they should have done, he was the biggest star. But yes, if you ever wondered, well, when did fans turn on John Cena? Do I have the period for you? Now, whether or not you agree with this, I don't know, and I actually loved John Cena during this
around
period.
this time.
But yes, the audience had already begun to grow a little bit bored of how WWE was treating John Cena, and dubbed him with a nickname, Super Cena. because he never lost. It's such a shame because there are some great matches during this time, like John Cena versus Edge, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, and John Cena versus Umaga is super duper underrated. But halfway through this, you can see if you do tune in to a random episode of Raw, people just wanted somebody new at the top, because you know the
Yeah, I'm not gonna cap. Yeah, this time was a little boring, but he did have like great moments, like Randy Orton versus Edge versus Shawn Michaels versus John Cena. But that match was a classic. I mean, it did end it with Super Cena becoming still being champion though. But the way they did it was just like so like I feel like you could just never replay that moment well. Everybody hit their finishers. Shawn Michaels hit the sweet chin music on John Cena, and then like he laid out and like had the pin on him, bro. I feel like that moment was just like fire. I mean, I get it, like Super Cena and all, but I still feel like that moment was fire.
phrase, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It was super fascinating to watch because we'd never seen a top guy having this kind of reaction before. Women and children would go crazy for him, whereas nerd men would go, boo, boo, you absolutely suck, John Cena, kiss my butt. It did make WWE fun to watch because, again, it was brand new, but in terms of watching a title reign, well, sometimes John Cena would win and he'd get booed out the place. I don't want to be that guy, but that was most definitely not the time at all. It's kind of amusing too because the only reason this reign stopped is due to John Cena getting injured. I'm not saying it's funny that he did get hurt, but the fact that's how WWE did change track, well, basically they were all in. Number 6, Randy Orton from April to June 2009. So do you remember that ridiculous 6-man tag team match we talked about a minute ago from King of the Ring 2000? Well, 9 years later, somebody in WWE went, you know what, we should do it again. So at Backlash 2009, WWE Champion Triple H once again teamed up with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon to battle the legacy, that being Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase Jr.
We took a look at this in like the Randy Orton like video when he was on his like 2009 shit, and that's how he won the WWE Championship.
Yeah. The reason this one was so weird, though, is not because Randy went and pinned Vince McMahon. It's because this time Orton did pin Triple H, meaning he became the champion by beating the champion, which begs the question, why didn't we just do a singles match? It then got totally crazy because Orton entered into another feud with former Evolution member Batista. At the Judgment Day, the Animal defeated the Viper via disqualification. In Extreme Rules, he got beaten again, this time in a steel cage. So I'm sure you figured it out, but I will lay it out for you. That's why this reign was ridiculous, because Randy Orton had 2 defenses after beating Triple H, and he technically lost to Batista, but again it was via DQ, and then he lost again in just a space of 42 days. Now listen, I got no problem with Dave Batista being the top guy because that guy ruled, but just to add insult to injury, well, Batista got hurt during that cage match and he had to give up the belt 2 days later. Guess who won the vacant title? Randy Orton. So while this part wasn't WWE's fault, there's 4 words to sum this up. What a waste of time. Damn it, that was 5. Number 5, Triple H from February 2009 to April 2009. So I can't agree with some of these just because, as we have talked about before, Triple H was one of my guys when I was growing up. So he did become the champion. I'd just be like, man, it's so cool, the game got his belt back. After WWE made a bold call, though, during No Way Out 2009, where WWE Champion Edge shockingly was pinned during the Elimination Chamber match, it was, of course, Triple H who reigned supreme, so he had his toy back again.
That was crazy. The fuck? Oh, come on.
This was all done
to quick. That freeze frame was crazy, bro. Well, I almost forgot what I was about to fucking say, bro. That's like just like the moment where Cena got eliminated first when everybody hit they shit and the champion was eliminated and Edge eliminated him, and then this literally happened to Edge, bro. That's like weird karma, bro. It ended up happening to Edge, like literally, probably I don't know what time span it was, but like that's some crazy coincidence.
A feud with Royal Rumble winner Randy Orton for WrestleMania 25, and of course the teacher versus student narrative was right there for the taking, and it kind of felt like WWE was going to lean into this. And I guess they did a little bit, but actually they went after the McMahon angle. And listen, as bizarre as the home invasions were, WWE had at least taken Triple H and Randy Orton and really made it feel like they hated each other. I mean, the clip of Stephanie McMahon being unconscious while Randy kisses her, well, that does mad views on social media, which actually makes me very scared. The issue actually comes down at WrestleMania 25, though, and yes, this has been spoken about for years, but not only did Randy and Triple H have to follow Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, but even though they had a blood feud, what was the first move they did? They locked up. For some reason around this time too, somebody made the rule that if Triple H got disqualified, he would lose his title, and that's not what people wanted to see.
That's dumb as shit. You got to follow like the expert wrestling expertise between like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker at that moment, and they get some stupid ass stipulation with in the WWE Championship match after they're supposedly having a blood feud. If nigga, bro, if in storyline, if a nigga ended up kissing my girl, nigga, I would want to take that nigga's head off. but you're gonna lock up the first time you get in the ring, and then you can't use no type of like objects.
Randy Orton had been such a dickhead here, at the very
Exactly.
least you wanted to see Triple H get some revenge. There's also the fact that Triple H retained here before losing to Randy Orton in that six-man tag match we just talked about, so all of this just felt backwards. Just think if Triple H and Randy Orton could do this again and actually bring the violence, it would be a different story, and also it meant their main event would have felt different from Taker and Shawn. But yeah, we didn't do that, so it really does come down to this WrestleMania match. We did not pitch it right at all. Number 4, Hulk Hogan from April 2002 to May 2002.
What?
So listen, we did have to do it. I hate to think how much politicking went on behind the scenes, but given the thunderous reaction that Hulk Hogan got at WrestleMania 18 against The Rock, it makes perfect sense for Vince McMahon to go, well, we may as well capitalize on this, and for one last time, make Hulk Hogan the WWE Champion. McMahon wasted no time either, because of course on the next pay-per-view Backlash, he did book Hulk Hogan to defeat Triple H, and there was no way that was the plan. Triple H had made his big return in January, won the Royal Rumble, won the main event at WrestleMania 18. He was never going to drop it within a month, but he did. Now, once again, Hogan did deserve this just based on the crowd reactions he was getting.
I'm sorry, I don't care, bro. Like, you're old, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't know, because I'm always biased against like Hulk Hogan, I guess. But like, I feel like he just didn't deserve that. Like, you got like younger, active talent around that time. No wonder why they dropped the championships a lot in Attitude Era. It was just because somebody got a good crowd pop. Nowadays, if a person get a good crowd pop like LA Knight, they're gonna fumble them. They're gonna fumble and let older people win. And LA Knight is an older guy. And like, but like, this is not like the older days, bro. I don't know what the hell Triple H is doing right now, but I can see he probably learned from this lesson by not like giving some people the championship. It's weird.
If in 2026 you want to pop on your DeLorean and watch some of these matches, well, let's just say they weren't great. It really just came down to the fact that the pomp and circumstance sometimes wasn't there, and if you really want to see some madness, go and watch the Judgment Day clash between The Undertaker and Hulkamania. I mean, that thing is crazy. The Dead Man also won on that night as well, meaning this only went on for a month. And listen, in 2002, the last thing you wanted is to go from Triple H to Hulk Hogan to The Undertaker in the space of about 12 weeks. But WWE did it. And again, I do understand, but if you are going to watch this frame from start to finish, well, you may just raise a little bit of an eyebrow. Number 3, Rob Van Dam from June 2006 to July 2006. So worst pop.
It only lasted a month. I low-key forgot about this time. I didn't really forget because like this is the first time like somebody captured the ECW championship and the WWE championship at the same time, and like kind of like had them both at the same time, and that was like rare. But like, I feel like this whole thing. Never mind. Never mind. It's all coming back to me. This is probably due to Buddy smoking, bro. He got caught and he just didn't kind of like live up to that. I wish he just didn't smoke or whatever and just like had a good time doing drinking or doing something else. But like this could have been like a longer reign.
Probably isn't the right word here, but disappointing. Oh my gosh, it got you right in the tum-tum. Because yes, when Rob Van Dam defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship at ECW One Night Stand 2006, it was one of the best moments of that year. Nobody ever thought that RVD was going to be able to climb the top of the mountain, let alone beat John Cena, and the fact he did it at an ECW pay-per-view, well, you couldn't make this up or write about it, even though somebody did. You also had Paul Heyman counting to 3 to make sure this was a moment, and then within weeks, RVD was no longer the champion because he went and got in trouble. Because within 1 month of winning them, he was pulled over on his way to a show, and when they found drugs in his car, well, yeah, he got told off by the police, he got told off by other people, and WWE decided, well, we can't have this human being at top of our company, so on July 3rd, well, he went and lost the thing to Edge. Now, there's nothing wrong with that either, because as we have talked about, the Rated R superstar is brilliant, but talk about a fall from grace. So many hardcore fans were over the moon at this and thought that RVD was going to go on a bit of a run, and he probably would have done too if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Or, police officers doing the job they absolutely had to do. I guess nowadays, looking back in hindsight too, it doubly hurts because Van Dam was never given a whiff of the main event scene again. And given what he was pulled over for, well, I probably shouldn't have said the word whiff. Number 2, the big...
Oh man, well, I guess this explains like why he wasn't like kind of really taken serious down the road, and the lingering of Triple H, like, kind of didn't like him behind the scenes, and this kind of, with him in Vince's ear, and then this popping up at the same time, couldn't be a coincidence. It sucks, but like, he was caught. That's just all it was. Like I said, classic of a wrestler being in their own way. The reign could have been good though.
Show from November 2002 to December 2002. So once again, it's just the fact that this reign was so damn
Why's he
short,
holding it
the
like that?
WWE didn't really know what direction to go. Now, of course, we have to start at SummerSlam 2002 when Brock Lesnar did defeat The Rock to become the WWE Champion. And if you weren't watching at the time, good grief, the company needed this. The Attitude Era was dead, we needed a brand new star. Brock Lesnar was massive, so yeah, give it to him. Around this time as well, Brock had also had an awesome rival with The Undertaker that had showed he could be a super duper whooper star. And even when he moved on to The Big Show, well, I tell you now, nobody talks about this, Brock Lesnar and The Big Show had terrific chemistry. Their matches were fun to watch. It didn't even matter when The Big Show defeated Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series, meaning he was the first guy to pin Brock Lesnar, because again, they had made this work in the ring. The problem, though, is what we did after this, because not only did Paul Heyman turn on Brock, making us think that, oh my gosh, this is going to go all the way to WrestleMania, but 1 month later, Big Show lost to Kurt Angle, and in unison, everybody said, well then, what was the point of that? Just goes back to the old wrestling trope of if you are going to beat somebody who has a bunch of momentum, make sure you use that momentum too. So having the Big Show be a champion for such a short amount of time, well, it just felt a little bit silly.
That was, yeah, low-key, that really kind of felt stupid. If this nigga was gonna get like a good heel turn, you know, with Paul Heyman in the rear view mirror as your new heel manager, like, what was the point of giving him the championship for a month, basically? Like, WWE made like some stupid ass moves. Like, and this is essentially a real stupid move because, like, why?
And I guess in the power of hindsight, it wasn't going to be that big of a deal because Brock Lesnar was going to leave the company anyway within a few years.
Oh.
WWE could have done this so much better, and Big Show could have held that title for so much longer, but it just didn't. Number 1, Chris Jericho from December 2001 to March 2002. So let's make this very clear.
I knew it. I knew it, bro. Because like this has been looked upon in like so many like championships. I mean, no. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm sleepy. I gotta hurry up and go to sleep after this video. But like this has been looked upon in so many like videos, and like I kind of just like went back to like study it, and like this was supposed to be the one where like he was supposed to like, you know, be having great feuds, but like they were just kind of sidetracked by just Stephanie McMahon, Vince McMahon, all the McMahons, and then Triple H is just interrupting.
Chris Jericho did become the WWE Undisputed Champion and beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night. It was awesome.
Crazy,
because
bro.
if anybody deserved it, well, their name was Chris Jericho. Jericho was also great after the fact because he just bragged about his feats at Vengeance 2001 for ages. And again, WWE needed somebody at the top of the card that was brand new, so you may as well have tried it. The issue, however, did come after Triple H won the Royal Rumble, and all of a sudden we saw the direction for WrestleMania, because for some reason, even though the main event was going to be Jericho versus Triple H, Christopher became a third wheel in his own feud, because this is also when Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were falling out on screen. So yeah, poor old Chris Jericho had to be Stephanie's lapdog. I mean, that is not a good position for the WWF champion to be in.
Yep.
On one episode of Raw 2, Triple H and Stephanie's dog even got more attention than he did. And I think that
I feel like this is literally be like looked upon like way worse in nowadays standards. People will probably be like booing the shit out of the creative nowadays. I mean, so much shit is already exposed in between kayfabe and shit, but like nowadays, when people have a voice on social media now.
Y2J has discussed this as well. Even he thought it was a bit dumb. I mean, he should have been the centre of attention. It also meant that when he did lose to the game at the main event of WrestleMania 18, he just kind of felt like an afterthought, and afterwards just sort of had to reset things. Now, he did make his way back up to the top of the card because he is that damn good, but this was just so utterly ridiculous, and of course was hurt even more because what came before Triple H and Chris Jericho, a little match known as The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. So it's just not the way to treat somebody you are trying to get over as a top star, but once again, this happened in 2002. I'm going to go worry about something.
Oh man, bro. Yep. I knew that would be the top of the list. Like I said, I guess that would be well at the beginning of the video I have to correct myself. This wasn't like a world heavyweight championship talking about, so the Reign of Terror can't really exist in this, but like definitely for me it will like that one that wasn't on this list, Great Khali, but Chris Jericho will have the top list of just, you know, being right with this, because like he really shouldn't have took a back seat to this whole thing, bro. I really hate that they made him take a back seat to this when he was like when he accomplished that whole thing. You beat Stone Cold and The Rock. That's a legendary ass moment. And to follow it up being a third wheel in a whole feud with a married couple, like, come on, man. Bro, let me know what you guys' favorite was, and let me know what wasn't on this list that you think should be on this list. But don't forget to leave a like and subscribe on the video and check the original link below. And we are on the road to 800 subs. Catch you guys in the next video.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?